Hi everyone, I'm Jasmine Bino and welcome back to Podcasting to Learn.
And I'm Joey Jensen, and with me today I've brought our chapter treasurer, Kate Brunn, to talk about SAEs with us. So Kate, if you could talk about what an SAE is and some facts about it to start us off, take it away.
All right, so an SAE is a supervised agricultural experience, which it can be anything from taking care of a pet goldfish and feeding it, to having livestock, to doing a metal shop or having projects like that. Normally you will have your record book where you will do your journal entries, which is basically writing down what you did for the day, your hours, and certain educational things that it goes with it. Along with that, you do your finances so you can keep track of what you're spending and how much you make off of it. And it's pretty simple. It's an easy way to keep track of everything, but normally your SAEs can be anything you really want it to be.
Yeah, basically this SAE is something that you do. It's a project you have outside of school that can last for either, it could last for a few months, it could last for a whole semester, a whole school year, and even it could last many years that you have in while you're in FFA. And basically, like I said, this project happens outside of school. Like, for example, a lot of students in the FFA chapters raise animals for the fair, so they'll log everything in their record book from how many hours they've spent with the animal, they'll log all their feed purchases and supply purchases, stuff like that. They'll log working with the animal, getting it ready for the fair, actually taking it to the fair. So you basically log kind of everything you do. Or if you're example, like my SE is working in a welding shop, so if you're in a shop setting or have something else like that, you'll log your hours that you've worked in that record book, log your paychecks if you get that, and any expenses or anything you have. And there's two types of SAEs that you can have, which is placement and entrepreneurship. So an entrepreneurship SAE is a company or a project that you own yourself. You do all of the financing and stuff like that for yourself, whereas a placement is you have a job somewhere and you're basically just working for a paycheck, and you're logging all the skills you've used, all the things you've done. And in that project you can also log your community service and other things you do besides just working in that project. And most of these, some students actually, I should say, have an off period where from this class there's also the class of SAEP, where you take, you basically can get a period off where you are going and working at your project or working with your animals, doing things with that you can log into your record book. And usually at our school, every semester is graded for the record book, so you have to have a certain amount of journal entries and time in your project. And no matter if you have the class or not, every FFA member has to have an SAE. So not only can you take the class and get credit for having that project, but just to be a member and get credit for being a member, you have to have your SAE project. What are some examples that you know of that are SAEs besides maybe working in a shop or raising an animal?
Well, it could be anything from having a pet dog that you take care of and walk and feed, to cleaning up your house. It can be, if your parents are paying you to do it, you can say, I cleaned my room, or I did the laundry for whatever amount of hours. It just has to be an agricultural related SAE. You can also do, for me, I have cattle, so I work and train and have my numbers and hours, and it makes it easier to stay on track of all of your information. So when I go to auction off my animals at fair, I can tell people what I've done, how many hours I've done it, and what my total expense is. You can also, a lot of things is if you have a family farm, you can put in the hours that you work in there, or landscaping is another one that you can do. Or a big family business, or even if it's a tiny one, you can do things with that and put that in as your SAE.
Yeah, so basically it's just another opportunity for students and to basically get hands-on work outside of the classroom, out in their own world, and do something that they pursue a career, pursue a job that they actually pursue, to get kind of that early hands-on learning and things like that. Unless you have anything else, I think that pretty much sums up what an SAE is.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple thing to understand.
All right, thank you guys very much for listening in.